Alright, welcome, and this week's episode is bacon cheeseburger hot dogs. You're going to like this one for sure. So it's a real simple recipe, but it takes a little bit of prep. The first thing you need is to cook your bacon. You need it cooked, but not completely cooked. Enough so it's flexible to make the dogs with. Now, let me tell you, don't do what I did here, which is just cut them into halves. I didn't realize that the package I took out, I had already cut the bacon into pieces, but we work with what we've got. So here's the finished product. It's nice and flexible. About 1.5 pounds of hamburger is what you're going to need, and that made 8 hot dogs. So the next thing, of course, is the cheese. That's just medium cheddar, what I had on hand, and we're going to chop that up into sticks, and that's going to go into the hot dog to make our cheese dog. Of course, once we're done cutting it up, we got to put it in a pan, and I put it in the fridge till I was ready for it, just to keep it cool, you know. So the next thing is prepping our dog. So here's our hamburger. So with the hamburger, what we're going to do is I'm going to do a test one. Now I know I ended up with 8 out of this, so that gives you a good guide as to how much you need. There's about a handful of hamburger there. There's no eggs in it, and I didn't put any salt and pepper on it just yet. So basically, it's just mush it around, get it to kind of into a hot dog size. So you press it, you don't want it too thin, and then I put a little dent in the middle just to make it easier for the cheese, and then of course I had to make sure that it would actually come off the damn pan, because I've had that happen. You got all the trouble of mushing out some meat or something, and then you go to bring it off the pan and the damn thing gets stuck. You got to start all over. So it worked out good. There's the cheese. I put a little onion on each one, which added to the flavor, of course, and a little salt and pepper at the end. And now what I did here was I just kind of pinched it together. Just gently pinch it. There was enough burger that I could do that with, and I tried to seal it as best I can. And I know I've done burgers 1,000 times. Doesn't matter how good you are at it. Anything you stuff with the burger, it's going to ooze out. It's just because there's air in it. So you do the best you can with it. Don't get too fussy, but try to plug up every hole you can find. And there you go. It should look something like this when you're done. Look at how nice that is. Now I'm going to put it aside on another pan, and we'll do a second one, and a third, and a fourth, and so on and so on. And when we're done mushing it all around, it should look something like this. So there you are, 8 hot dogs ready to rock and roll. Now the fun part, we'll put this aside, and now the fun part is the bacon. What I did was, this is the pan I'm going to actually bake them on, and the recipe I had said deep fry them. I think this is a little healthier. Not that bacon and hamburger is super healthy. So because I only had half pieces, I had to be a little creative on how I rolled the bacon on. So what I found was, if I kind of tucked it, wrapped it around and tucked it underneath, it seemed to hold up okay, and at the end of the day it did. I really wish I would have had the longer pieces of bacon. Live and learn for next time. So I think 2 full pieces really would have covered the dogs a lot better. And I mean, if you're a freak for bacon, you could do 3 each. So that would mean you need either 16 or 24 pieces. And so depending on, you know, your bacon, it could be 1.5 pounds of bacon, or if it's thin sliced, you might be able to get that out of 1 pound of bacon. So anyway, here's our 8, all nice and wrapped, and basically ready to go in the oven. So these are going to go in the oven for 20-25 minutes, about 375. You have to keep an eye on them. Obviously the bacon's already cooked, but you kind of want the hamburger to cook. So in the meantime, we're going to make ourselves some sauce for the hot dogs to put on. Basic sauce, mayo, a little bit of ketchup, So you figure that's about a third of a cup of mayo, maybe a tablespoon of ketchup, tablespoon of mustard. It comes out to whatever your preference is really at the end of the day. And just for the hell of it, I threw in a tablespoon, or a forkful anyway, of relish. Now we're just going to give that a good mix. And when it's done, we have ourselves some really delicious sauce to put on our dogs when they're finally done. Okay, let's check it out. It's stirred up good enough. And yummy, yummy. Man, that stuff is good. Burger sauce is to die for. So these are done now. We're going to pull them out of the oven. And of course you can see a lot of the cheese just oozes out. And that's okay because a lot of the cheese does stay in. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them cool for just a little bit. I'm going to take them and put them on the other cookie sheet just because I don't actually have a rack to let them cool on. So, but I want to get them out of all that grease. And there's not a ton of grease, but there's enough. Let's put them on another tray. We're going to let them sit for a little bit, and that really does help. It helps firm them up just a little bit more. And, 5-10 minutes is not really going to make them cold, so they'll be good to go. So the final step is we're going to get us some hot dog buns, of course, and rip them open. And I can never figure out which way they open. 90% of the time, I always grab the wrong side. I don't know why. You think it would be easy after years and years of eating hot dogs, but we'll get through it. Not a biggie. So 2 dogs each, and 2 dogs is pretty good. I mean, if you're a hell of an eater, you might want to make 3 for yourself, but 2 seemed to be just about enough. I was more than full after that. We're going to take them and put them in the buns, and when we're done, we got to lay a little bit of sauce on. That burger sauce is great. I'm going to use it for everything now. It just goes, maybe a little bit of heat. I could have put a little hot sauce if you want something a little more spicy, which I didn't do, but it's always something you could do in the future. So there's the dogs all lined up and ready to go, and now we got to get a little sauce on them. Okay, it just doesn't matter how hard I try. I can't get the dogs to stay in one spot. So we finally figured it out. We're going to slather it up. You don't need a ton. It's just like any kind of a sauce. And that's more than enough what I put on there. If you like more, put more on. That's fine. You want less, put less on. You want to eat them without the sauce, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's all up to you how you want to present it. And there you have it. A bacon cheeseburger hot dog. What a great idea. Tiny bacon cheeseburger hot dogs. What could be more simpler? They were super easy to make and a lot of fun to eat. Just remember, more bacon. You can't get enough bacon. I need to double or triple the amount of bacon I actually put on those things. Live and learn. Next time I will. I hope you enjoyed this. Try out the recipe. As always, give me a like down below. If you haven't subscribed, give me a subscribe. I'd sure like it. Absolutely. Share it. Please feel free to share it with whoever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And of course, ring the bell. That'll give you a notification the next time I post something, usually Thursdays. And once again, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you try it. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.